The disturbing story that inspired The Conjuring. The true story of The Conjuring, namely the Perron family haunting, is more terrifying than the films themselves. So, what was the real story that inspired the film? Do you want to know the actual story that inspired The Conjuring? Of course, the fictional was so terrifying, so what about the real one? Here in this video, we will discuss the real story, so keep watching this video till the end and subscribe for more. Here we begin. When The Conjuring was broadcasted in the year 2013, you must have seen that it was confronted with critical acclaim. Analysts everywhere acclaimed it for its all-too-realistic descriptions of the sinister haunting of a noble household in Rhode Island. But some viewers speculated that the film was nothing but the crazy imaginings of the director James Wan. Still, the real story of The Conjuring is fully grounded in a horrifying true ordeal of Ed and Lorraine Warren. So now, let's get into the story that inspired this famous horror movie. Ed Warren was a World War II master and a retired police officer who came to be a self-professed demonologist after researching the topic on his own. His wife Lorraine contended to be a clairvoyant and medium who could communicate with the monsters that Ed found out. In 1952, Ed and Lorraine found out about the New England Society for Physics Research, the oldest ghost hunting organizations in New England. After a preliminary examinations of the Amityville hauntings, they promptly attained attention as honored paranormal detectives. Now, you will find that their two most popular cases still were heavily popularized by the Conjuring franchise, a sequel of films directed on Ed and Lorraine's experiences confronting demons from the possessed households. You must have seen that although the movie appears to be over-dramatized and unthinkable to speculate, the Warrens maintain that all of the illustrated incidents actually happened. Though Ed starved in 2006, Lorraine was an advisor on the movie and asserted that she didn't allow the directors to take any more astonishing license than was essential. The credible story of The Conjuring starts with the first movie, which is directed by the Perron family. In January 1971, the Perron family shifted into a 14-room farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island, where Carolyn, Roger, and their 5 daughters started to discover strange things that were occurring shortly after they shifted in. But it didn't happen big the first time. It began small. Carolyn would notice that their broom went forfeiting, or appeared to shift from place to place on its own. Yes, this is something that everyone will notice. She would hear something rubbing against the pot in the kitchen when there was no one. This is not the end. Furthermore, she would uncover small piles of mud in the midst of a newly cleaned kitchen floor. The girls started noticing spirits around their room, though they were harmless for the most part, but yes, there were some. Still, that was furious. So after these incidents, Carolyn allegedly studied the history of their home and found out that it had been in the exact family for 8 eras and that several of them had disappeared under mysterious or terrible situations. Many children had perished in a nearby creek, one was slaughtered, and a few hanged themselves in the attic. You must have seen that the spirit that was illustrated in the movie, Bathsheba, was horrible of them all. It turns out there was really a real person named Bathsheba Sherman who resided on the Perron estate in the mid-1800s. To our surprise, she was rumored to have been a Satanist, and because of her, there was a proof that she had been implicated in the casualty of a neighbor's child, though no prosecutions ever took place. She was laid to rest in a nearby Baptist cemetery which is located in downtown Harrisville. The parents speculate that it was Bathsheba's spirit that was harming them. According to Andrea, the family experienced other spirits as well that smelled like decaying flesh and would result in beds rising off the floor. She contends her father would reach the basement and sense a cold-smelling presence behind him. They frequently lived away from the dirt floor basement, but the heating appliance would frequently fail mysteriously, resulting in Roger venturing down. And they have lived for over 10 years. And during these years, Warren gave rise to considerable trips to examine. At one point, Lorraine administered a seance to contact the spirits possessing the household. During the seance, Carolyn Perron came to be possessed, taking in tongues and surging from the ground in her chair. Though the film editions of events culminates with Ed conducting an exorcism rather than a seance, Lorraine contends that she and her husband would never strive for one, as they must be accomplished by Catholic preachers. After the seance, Roger pushed the Warrens out, concerned about his wife's mental peace. But according to Andrea, the household proceeded to live in the house due to economic instability until they were competent to shift in 1980. At that point, the spirits were calm and the hauntings were discontinued. So, that's all for today. Did you like the actual story? If so, let me know in the comments. Remember to subscribe and smash the bell icon to get more uploads like this. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, and I'll see you soon.